Hello there, everyone. Thank you very much for having me here today. Thank you to John Powell and colleagues for inviting me. I'm really sorry that I'm not able to be with you today. I did very much enjoy last year's event. So thank you very much for having me here again. John's asked me to tell you a little bit about the IEP, and then I want to kind of move on to our sponsorship of the award for Advisor of the Year. So I just got a presentation to show to you, so bear with me, we'll get that up and running. And as you can see, that's me. I'm really pleased to be here, and thank you again to everyone for inviting us. So why are we here? Why is the IEP here? Well, it's really quite simple. We do lots of things in between, but the two things that we do really well are networking and qualifications, the opportunity for learning, training and development. Very much in our vision, employability professionals everywhere are the best they can be, and this is how we make sure that happens. The employability sector, as you'll know, is multifaceted. We have people working across justice, employment support, local authorities, social care, healthcare, FE, HE. The list is endless, really, in terms of where people find themselves supporting people into work or gaining their first job. And it's really important that we are able to practice effectively and to join up all elements of the employability sector. We estimate there's over 100,000 people working in the employability sector, and to be honest, there could be more, but it's a growing sector, and it's has some fantastic professionals in it who are doing some really important work to aid the development of people and to support them into work. The most interesting fact with the onset of COVID and the challenges that we face within the economy and the social challenges we face also is that we're likely to see 60, maybe up to 75,000 new practitioners over the next 2 years. And later in the presentation, I'll come on to some of the reasons why. But ultimately, that's a lot of new people. Now, the Treasury has identified a number of sectors that are in growth, some of which are digital, the green economy, environmental things, and also social care. But I would also argue that employability practice, those employability professionals, are a growing sector, and also that individuals that work in that space are enable the only sector that is able to support the other sectors grow. Another really interesting fact is that we estimate that about 80% of those new employability practitioners coming into the sector will have never done this before. We published a report about 6 weeks ago alongside EMSI and APTEM, stating where some of the occupational areas where people could come from that have relatable skill sets. And it's a fascinating thing at the moment, looking at how people are coming in from the hospitality sector or from the recruitment sector to enable us to do the work that is so critically required at this time. But that's 80% of people who haven't done this before and who need training and learning and need the opportunity to be able to start with the best levels of practice possible, and to be able to learn from those people that are already currently operating in the sector how to do this job really effectively for the benefit of the customers that they serve. We all know that the Chancellor promised £7.5 billion to aid support for people to get back to work. That's a huge amount of money, but at a time where that money is absolutely needed to be invested to aid the economic recovery. And also to aid the social recovery, the challenges that people face who have never been unemployed before, potentially, or never envisaged that they were going to be made unemployed at some point in their life. And so lots of programs are coming on stream at the moment. The new JFS program has just been commissioned. I am aware of JETS programs being commissioned. There's been a ramping up in JETS provision across a number of providers within the space. But also the next kind of real large-scale program that's going to be commissioned is just under 3 billion for the long-term unemployed. It's my understanding that's going to be commissioned in January with a go live of around about the April time. Now, what's significant about that is that 3 billion is the largest program we've ever seen in terms of delivery within the provision market space. If you look at work program, for instance, that was 3.5 billion, but that was around 5 years worth of referrals. This 3 billion for the long-term unemployed is going to be for 3 years worth of referrals, so considerably greater in terms of scope than programs that have come before. Now, long-term unemployed means that customers have been unemployed for 12 months, which is interesting, but I do believe that there is a hope that some early entrants and some discretion will be given to advisors to support people who are significantly disadvantaged by being out of work and potentially can gain early access to those programs. So watch this space, but it's fascinating what will happen over the coming months. And all of that is to aid the economic recovery. We've got more people unemployed than we've had for years now, and it's shocking. And some of those challenges that those people are facing are significant. The rise in mental health challenge, the rise in suicide rates, the rise in poverty, all of those essence as a direct impact to people losing their work because of COVID, and the continuing challenges that people are facing after having been unemployed for some time. And as the furlough scheme ends in March, and then I think we're going to see a real bump in the economy again in June. But we'll have to wait and see about what happens. In my opinion, the long-term unemployed programme and a number of the things that the Department for Work and Pension are doing at the moment on behalf of the government couldn't happen quickly enough, and this is absolutely the right time to get those programs embedded, contracted, and get that activity moving. So just some information here about the kinds of things we do: pulling networks together, having thought leadership sessions, the accredited learning activity that we do. We have the opportunity and space within the IEP for conversations from practitioner to practitioner. We have different membership levels, so those conversations are in safe spaces. We create ideas, we create the opportunities for everyone to learn, and clearly we certificate and accredit everything that we do. Some of we had a thought profile at AGM most recently. We had a number of things in train prior to coronavirus and the lockdown initially, and the challenges that people faced. But what we found throughout this last sort of 8 months or so is that a lot of our work has been expedited. So a number of you that already engage, and I know that there are a number of IEP members in the audience today, will be coming along to our live Learn Lunch sessions. I think we've delivered almost 50 webinars in that period, anything ranging from mental health through to how to do virtual first aid, to practice, to health and well-being activity, to how to host an online event, and clearly, hopefully I've learned something being able to do this today. We've got a new LMS system with all our accredited learning on. We've published 2 editions of our IEP journal. Please read it. It's really good, and hopefully gives you something about what you need. Under that accreditation learning, we've launched an IEP accredited sector induction, which I hope a number of you are learning and supporting peers to get on board with. We've just launched an IEP level 3 certificate in employability practice, which we're really excited about, which takes that learning to the next level. And we're working on a number of work streams with the Department for Work and Pensions around what makes a great advisor, how we recruit people effectively, collaboration, quality improvement, continuous improvement. And so, we're really, really active in trying to enable everyone to do the best that they can and be the best that they can be. And here's the accredited learning pathway. So as I said before, at level 2, we've got the IEP accredited sector induction. That's really good for people coming into the sector, that 80% we talked about before. But it also might be useful for those people who may have not been in the sector for a while, or may well have been in for some time, to have a refresh and a relook at things that are very new and up to date to enhance their practice. As I said before, the certificate in employability practice at level 3 is a really good follow-on to that. Lots and lots of really interesting learning in that, all about physical practice, all about how to do that job more and more effectively. And we know we all want to do that constantly, because the only reason that we're here is to help support customers and enable those outcomes to be the best that they possibly can be for those individuals that need help and support. And then at level 4, we've got the apprenticeship standard, which is taking that practice to another level, and supporting those potentially working in a specialised setting, or those that want to continue on their career journey, or those that are mentoring and supporting and developing people within their organization, but don't want to go into a management or supervisory pathway. And so, I think this sector has those individuals already, has a number of those individuals already, and should have the opportunity to recognize what is significantly high level practice within our sector. We have really good learning routeways through our LMS system. We have the continuing professional development agenda, where you can record CPD points and you can print a certificate at the end of the year to say what you've learned and how many CPD points you have. Really good, by the way, for the appraisal system and supporting your management teams, your leadership, to understand the impacts that you're having alongside your performance and quality measures. Those accredited qualifications I've already spoken about. And the really good thing that I think, given how busy we all are supporting people on the front line and through managing those on the front line and then leading organizations who deliver this work, is that all of the work, all of the learning that we put out there is bite-sized and it's blended. So there's something to suit everybody. For instance, at the level 2 induction, every single aspect of that learning is online. It is tested online and it's accredited online. So I know it sounds obvious these days, but you can do that learning on your smartphone. You could do that going on the bus to work, or in the journey between your living room and your kitchen table, wherever you're working at this moment in time. So it's really, really accessible, and I would encourage you to jump on that as soon as you can. So we deliver learning. We're hopefully, and our ambition and the key to all of this is to aid the economic recovery of the UK and to be seen by the wider public and government as key workers in that situation, helping support that activity. We do that through recognition and awards, and we do that, and that's why I'm so interested in being here today, or not being here to doing this today, and also through the certification of best practice. And so I hope that's given you a flavour of the IEP. Just really quickly back onto, it's about learning and networking, sharing together, learning together, enabling us to be a significant part of the economic recovery of the UK economy and the society in general, and supporting all of those people who are now very much in need of our support. The last thing that I want to say is, if you need to get in touch with us, I hope you do, then John Powell is a very proud board member of the Institute of Employability Professionals, and we've been working alongside for quite some time now. Just get our details from John. That would be absolutely fantastic. I really hope that you enjoy the rest of this event today. As I say, I've experienced at least one of these before, and it's been absolutely fantastic. And I hope you stay safe and stay well, and that hopefully in the future, maybe next year, we get the opportunity to be together again. So all I want to do now is hand over to John Powell, who will announce who the Advisor of the Year is. And all I say is thank you very much.